Welcome to this channel. Please don't forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and press the notification button so that whenever we do video you'll be able to enjoy it. Mr. Chinedu Michael, the way we are seeing this case of Mase Nnamdi Kanu is like is going, the other way, because we saw that DSS disallowed his lawyer access to see Nnamdi Kanu, and with the kind of evidence we are seeing now, it's like the case may lead to jailing of Nnamdi Kanu. What is your reaction? What is your expectation?
I think to an extent, it has become a very dramatic, and full of fireworks when the lawyers finally engage themselves in cross-examinations with the federal government at the end of the day. But from what we are seeing, from the evidence that has been coming out, and of course, most of these videos we are watching today was not in the public space ab initio. It was as a result of the federal government who has these things with them, and some of the things that has not been authorized for public consumption. That is why we have not been able to understand actually what actually transpired. But normally, Nnamdi Kanu was not found with anything that has to do that's connected to terrorism. And the question millions of people all over the world are asking, if the director of DSS can say the same thing as Nnamdi Kanu is saying, and then what happened? Why did they now change it to terrorism? Why did not change it to so many charges against him?
When he was calling for self-defense.
Yes, self-defense. Go there and defend yourself. Nigeria has lost control of their security structure. I can tell you, with what happened in Borno State, it is very clear, that what is happening to Nigeria, bro, this is not the time for celebration. This is time to stand up. Millions of Nigerians all over the world, both those in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, should come together and stand up for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has done very well. He is one of the revolutionaries that we should celebrate. We need respect for who you are, for having decided, among all things, to explain to Nigerians many years ago, many decades ago, about what is happening today. And up to this moment, we have not seen any sign that Nigerian government are ready or have the political will to make sure that we do not have excessive killing in various parts of the country, including the Nigerian army and police are being killed by these people on daily basis. I will watch the video. How, bros, is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not a prophet? That's the question I want to put to George Omotosho. I hope you are going to watch this video, and everybody that's watching this video, watch the video, because it's no longer funny. Don't think you can threaten the entire 85 million Igbos around the world with just anything you want to come up with. And I want Bola Ahmed Tinunbu, to respect the issue that has to do with, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of self-defense as guaranteed in the United Nations Charter.
Let's talk about one video that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu vowed by the name of God that he didn't know anything about what happened in the EndSARS. I've listened to that audio. Can we call it, incitement, public incitement, or what? So, what if they find him guilty in that?
There's no how they can find him guilty, because we know that xenophobia, and like he always said, I'm fighting for my people, I'm fighting for injustice, I'm fighting for marginalization. Then the question is Igbos in Nigeria marginalized? That's the question. Is there anything like that? Anybody that comes out and tells you that Igbos in Nigeria are not being marginalized is not saying the truth. If as much as the national chairman of APC can acknowledge that what is happening to the Igbo people is deliberate, gang up, bro, what are you talking about? That's the fact. That's the reality.
And he ordered them to join APC.
Yeah, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was right, considering the fact that to an extent Igbos are not allowed to even vote in Lagos. Igbos, are being discriminated, or irrespective of their contribution in Lagos State economy. I respect Fashola for that. When the Lagos State government Gazette was released, and people were amazed at the level of economic contribution of Igbos. I'm talking if I can get it right, but I know it is between 43 to 53%. 43% population, 53 or thereabout or more. Investment in Lagos State, alone, Lagos State. And you can see the level of anti-Igbophobia that is spreading. So on that note now, and that is why you see when it happens a protest, they say Igbos are no longer going to join the protest. What do you expect? Because at the end of the day, you can see the statement. Even though we know that these things are not true, they are not correct, but they will find a way because it's coming from this part of the country, the eastern part of the country. They will fabricate it. They will mix it up. But you see, nobody should come and start threatening the Igbos, because what you are seeing, the whole world is watching. Mazen Namdekan has become the symbol of African liberalization. He has become the symbol of Africanization. Just like what we are seeing in Burkina Faso. Nobody can take that away from Mazen Namdekan. He has been able to show that he stood for not only for Biafrans, for the black people all over the world. This is injustice. What is happening? What kind an African man? Okay, they are not even talking about the one he said that Buhari has died. Nobody's talking about that. What he's not even. Nobody's talking about the one he said that a time will come when Nigerians will be carrying money in wheelbarrow,
to purchase something,
and they cannot be able to buy anything. They are not talking about that. They are talking about something he never engineered. Mazen Namdekan never engineered answers. But you can see those exhibits in the courts, and if restrictions is being given, and I remember that there's also a medical history. We are hearing about Mazen Namdekan having a congestive cancer. It is not funny to anybody because he has not committed any offense that we are not seeing being committed in Nigeria on daily basis. That's the fact. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu should, if he want to distance himself from this thing, let him know what to do at this point in time. We know who planted James Omotosho there as judge to preside over Nnamdi Kanu's case. And he cannot tell us that he doesn't know what he's doing. I want to be optimistic about James Omotosho, even though we know he's coming from Nyesom Wike and their likes, in leadership, But I know the kind of judgment he passed in Rivers State. We can go and do fact finding. So if we are seeing this kind of signs now, we might be looking at another Bintanyako at the end of the day, and it is very questionable. At this point, that Nnamdi Kanu, after 10 years, after 10 good years, federal government deemed it fit to open trial.
I observed something. After the visit of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Anambra State, we saw an attack in Imo State by unknown gunmen. Can we say that is a reaction? Maybe they don't want the presence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Anambra. Because we hear about attack in Imo State, two occasions.
It is not going to stop because they have refused to do the normal thing. People are not defending themselves. People are in the forest. The military, the police system, the intelligence unit has virtually collapsed. And this is not a time for politicking where you move from one state to another, campaigning for your second-term ambition, and half of millions of Nigerians are hungry and are dying. It is a form of protest. What you saw in Anambra State is a protest to get the government attention. Are you not seeing what is happening? You understand? This is not a time for. There's no security in the eastern part of the country. So what is it? The only symbol of peace and tranquility is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu represent the faith. Not only these people they are looking at, including Soludo himself. Soludo can never come close where Nnamdi Kanu is talking. Nnamdi Kanu has become law and order. We are seeing how Nnamdi Kanu is going to be killed in DSS custody. We are watching to see how Nnamdi Kanu will be buried in Nigeria. We are watching how Nnamdi Kanu will be jailed.
How do you think people of Anambra will feel when they saw President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Anambra and they know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS cell? Would they think that we have seen our friend or we've seen our adversary.
No, you see, Abga, which Soludo represents, it's unfortunate that Soludo has just started behaving like any other governor in the southeast. Becoming afraid of his position as a Fulani imposed governor. We discovered that Soludo has been campaigning to rule the Anambra State for a very long time. After he said, Soludo himself said he got clearance from Yanadua. Governor of it. Bro, remember, mark what I'm saying, that he got clearance from Yanadua family, and they promised him that he's going to be governor of Anambra State. But you can see, I'm saying it publicly. So if Soludo is there, let him come out. See, Soludo for me is nothing to write home about completely. In as much as he even authorized his followers, the party that brought him to power, to hide the symbol of Odumegwu Ojukwu on their clothes before they can be able to welcome Bola Ahmed Tinunbu. Did they tell you that Bola Ahmed Tinunbu did not know who warlord Ikemba one of Inewu, Odumegwu Ojukwu, Chukwemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu is? You want to tell me that Bola Ahmed does not know the man called Ikemba Newu, the late Biafra warlord Ojukwu? Then Soludo is saying they should hide. That is the level of things we are talking about.
Why do they bring themselves low?
You see, that's what I'm telling you. The more we are going to open this thing gradually, a time will come, we begin to ask them to excuse us. You see what Ofoposadima is saying recently. Nnamdi Kanu is innocent because his tenure has finished. He's no longer recognized by the Fulanis.
He's about to go in.
The same thing is going to happen to Soludo, and that is why they are mounting pressure to dismantle the Abia State government, the Abia State people, so that they can bring in their Fulani and destabilize the presence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, of which knowing fully well that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually come from that state. The video, the things you are watching in the court, I can tell you, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not think to use James Omotosho, to jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to pass judgment that is very pleasant to Buhari, and that's what Buhari want to hear. That's what the Fulanis want to hear, so that they can continue. But in reality, if there's consciousness, or if Buhari, Tinubu himself, and Omotosho himself have consciousness, that means they are having deaf ear to the security threat by the Fulanis in Nigeria. And somebody has come and proclaimed and said that this thing is going on. And you see, they bring this thing. That is why the lawyers, there's no country you have a lawyer that country will move forward. Most of these people you have in the Senate, they claim they are lawyers. Look at where we are today.
Eventually, Mr. Chino, before we round up, what do you think is going to be the reaction of Southeast if eventually Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is jailed 2-3 years? What do you think is going to be the reaction?
That will create a major infiltration of the Fulanis in the land. That it will completely destabilize the insecurity in the southeast, and the Fulanis are going to have a field day. The brothers and sisters will rise against each other because in the absence of hope, there will be chaos.
Thank you very much.